The following program is rated TVMA. Viewer discretion is advised.
Peace. My name is Haven Bullets, and today I gotta bring you this video, family. I can't believe this. I don't know what I believe more, don't believe more. Yvette Carnell literally up here crying crocodile tears for this Bryon Allen case, or her followers being so stupid to not even understand that she is crying crocodile tears, and they don't understand the gravity of this situation. Because if you don't know about this case, I'm going to let Yvette explain it to you. And then I'm going to come back and flame her. Here we go, family.
And so people ask me, well, it can't just be reparations, Yvette. What else is it about? Is there anything else? It can't just be about reparations. It's a lot of stuff. Right now, when you look at what's going on with Bryon Allen, let's talk about it. Let's have the conversation. Let me put this up first. All these people who all say they hate Trump. So what you talking about? What could they be doing? Well, what could they be doing? They just wrote the 1619 project. They did that, Yvette. You can't let 1619. I'm all in favor of that, but you can't let 1619 override what's happening to us in 2019. You can't do that. You cannot do that. And let me pause and just give some background in terms of this Bryon Allen lawsuit, right? Bryon Allen owns the Weather Channel. Bryon Allen is a billionaire. What's happening right now, and what all these people who are talking a lot should be engaged in and talking about right now, is happening right now. This isn't about Bryon. This is about a slave law. This is a Reconstruction era law about our opportunity that Bryon Allen is using to defend himself in the Supreme Court. This is our anti-discrimination law being taken away. And the reason I have Donald Trump's picture up, President Trump's picture up, is because his Department of Justice has stepped into this on the side of Comcast. Now understand one thing for me. Comcast, Donald Trump has railed all the way against Comcast and the fake media and all of that. You got to understand what it takes is a black man who is trying to do business and trying to win for them to come together for the sake of whiteness and to get him out of here, because that's all it's about. They trying to get you out of here. They trying to get us out of here. This ain't about Bryon. This is about that law. This law is intended to protect us. That's the law he's using. We need that law to exist. So why am I not seeing the Urban League, NAACP, write amicus briefs, right? Because that's what's supposed to happen. You write your amicus in favor of this law and everything that happens, and you're supposed to, with all those corporate donations, regardless of who has what money, you're supposed to absorb some of that because it affects all of us. It's not about Bryon. This is not about him. This law is important because it's about anti-discrimination. So what am I talking about? When you go back to 1866, when you look at that law, it's intended to allow us to sue and be integrated into the business environment, that sort of thing. That's what it's intended to do. So you have this law that's intended to make us whole, because that's what it was. These people are citizens, blah, blah. It's intended to make us whole. This is a Reconstruction era law. You're talking 1865, 1866. That's what this law is. This law really needs to be expanded, but let me show you. Let me just show you something really quick. They're changing the test. So the way Bryon, because Bryon Allen won like twice in the Ninth Circuit, I don't even understand why y'all are here, except for you got with your boys in the Supreme Court, none of this real far right wing, and you said, hey, I need y'all to help me get Bryon Allen out of here. I'm gonna get this black man out of here. I'm gonna get and when I get him out of here, I'm gonna get all these black people out of here. I'm gonna get everybody that's coming after him out of here. And they like, you know what? Bet. So the way Byron Allen won is saying when you read the law and you say, well, if race was a motivating factor, right? If race is a motivating factor, you win. They want to do it different. They want to say it different. Here's what they want to change the motivating factor to the but-for test. Well, Yvette, what's the difference between like a motivating and a but-for test? Here's the but-for test. The but-for test would require Allen's company to show that Comcast would have carried the studio's channel but for racial bias. In other words, that discrimination tipped the scales towards denial. Not just that discrimination was a motivating factor in the studio's failure to secure a Comcast contract. So what does that mean? What does that mean? That means that they're changing the standard to an impossible standard. With the but for race, had it not a but for race, he would have been in the room. Or but for race, he would have owned the channel. You can't prove that. There's unless there's a smoking gun or somebody leaks an email, you're not going to be able to prove that. You're not going to be able to prove a but for case. They're setting an impossible standard to prove discrimination. This is awful for anti-discrimination law, and it's awful for ADOS. This is a nail in a coffin. Understand something. Regardless of what happens, right? Regardless of what happens, Byron Allen has the weather channel. He's a rich man. He's going to be all right. He would be better if the lawsuit, if they had just done the right thing and not been racist, he'd have been better. But that's not what happened. But he's going to be all right regardless. We're going to be screwed. They are shutting down how we are able to protect our rights in this country. There's nothing you can do outside of the way we won our rights. So much was in the courts, in the law, lawsuits. Keep them going, keep them going, keep them going, keep them going. Yes. We're losing our right to sue for what we need to be able to sue for.
I don't have any words, family. As you've seen, as you heard, this might be over. I remember making videos years ago telling people and trying to explain to people, Trump is like somebody we never had. People say, oh, well, if Trump wins, it ain't going to be that bad. We done been through Reagan, Bush, and all this other stuff. I said, Trump ain't like nothing you ever seen before. I said, if Trump wins, especially at this juncture in history, this might be RIP for Black America. Done. This ain't about Byron Allen no more and a black-owned cable company. I mean, a TV network and channels. This ain't about that no more. This is literally about civil rights by the DOJ, which Trump is in charge of, siding with Comcast and telling we need to take this to the Supreme Court, which Trump has appointed 3 judges on, and the conservatives have a 5-4 majority. If this goes ahead like this, this will literally be Jim Crow, because now people will be able to fire and discriminate against black people willy-nilly, and it'll be up to the black people to prove that racism was the only reason they did this. See, it's not enough no more to even prove racism played a part in it. You have to prove racism was the only reason, which is impossible. You would literally have to have somebody say on a tape recorder that I'm only doing this because I'm racist. And if you don't have that, you're not going to be able to prove it. Which means now people will be able to blatantly discriminate against black people, and there'll be no way you'll have no recourse. You'll have no recourse. I told people that it matters, man. It matters who's the president. Remember, how did black people go into Jim Crow the first time? The Supreme Court. I told people, y'all don't get it. Y'all just don't get it. And y'all still letting people run this game on you with reparations. Forget reparations. Even if you got reparations, which you're not going to get, and it's a trick bag you're putting yourself in. What does it matter if you have no rights? And why would they even honor it if you have no rights? You don't know what you have done. I'm gonna put a link to an article in the description box of the chat, whatever. And I want y'all to read this article. It's short, and I'm probably gonna do a separate video about it. I just don't know what to say. I just wanted to do this video, but I don't know what to say. I want y'all to hear this other clip, family.
A white man in the White House, who everybody has said, and I agree, is a racist, is suing a black man so that he can't use a slave law during Reconstruction to prevent discrimination, and ain't nobody talking? Ain't nobody got nothing to say? Ain't nobody got no defense? Let me tell you something. Mark Morial and your slick back head self, let me tell you something. If y'all don't come forward and write amicus briefs on behalf of Bryon Allen, we should throw all of these organizations in the trash. Throw you in the garbage. Because how much you make, Mark Morial? Don't you make like $9 million a year, some outrageous number at the Urban League? And you can't do this because it's about the law. It's not just about Bryon Allen or anybody else. This is a law that needs to be enforced. As a matter of fact, if you want to ask me, quite frankly, the motivating factor standard is still too low. Like, I would want to expand if race was a part of it at all, if race entered into the decision at all, it don't even have to be a motivating factor. We should be working to make that standard, to broaden that out. They're narrowing the scope to a point where it's impossible to sue. You can't ever prove a but-for standard, but-for race. You can't prove that unless you were in the room and you have a recording of them calling you a monkey. That's the only way you can prove that. And guess how often that happens? There you go.
Y'all heard that, family. You heard what she just said. She tried to pass the buck onto other people, trying to blame them for it and ask them why they're not doing anything about it. There's nothing anybody can do about this. The only thing I possibly think that could be done about this is Bryon Allen drops the lawsuit so it never goes to the Supreme Court. Or one of the 5 Supreme Court justices go left. That's the only thing that can be done about this. Nothing else can be done about it. No lobbying, no letter writing, nothing. And no black person in living history has even been through a situation like this before. Never. Like, when have we ever even been through a situation like this before? Like, what are they supposed to do? It's already gone to the Supreme Court. They got a 5-4 advantage. 3 of the judges is appointed by Trump. One of them, somebody's going to have to go left. If they don't, this decision will have an effect on everybody in the country. This will affect this will change the way any type of discrimination, any type of lawsuit, any type of anything is being done in the country from now on. To make it to the point where you won't be able to do it. Look at the smirk on her face. She is crying crocodile tears and blaming other people and shifting the blame onto them about what you're not doing. Or we need to get rid of y'all. When these were the people who told you silly Negroes to get your ass up and go vote. To keep this man out of office. While Yvette Carnell, look at it right now, sip wine. Sip wine. Matter of fact, I'm going to play this clip, family.
Hey, Breaking Brown family, it's Yvette Carnell coming to you. I'm not going to stay long, but I promised I would come and talk about Donald Trump's inauguration speech. And it was concise, it was quick, and there are a couple of things that I can say about that speech. But first, let me. The reason I didn't come on sooner, though, I had to watch the Obamas leave. So I was not going to come on until I saw them get in that helicopter. So I got to make sure they get in that helicopter. So anyway, I also promised you guys
I was gonna have a toast. So, to the end of an era. As I was discussing with a friend this morning how happy I am not to have to see, Jay-Z and all those people there so they can confuse black people and we could be like Jigga in the building and all that stuff. White people said they were gonna take their country back. Looks like they might have did.
You saw her, family, celebrating Trump's victory. Celebrating it. Lying to your dumb followers the whole time, before the election and now after the election. Just lying. Laughing at them. Look at this smirk on her face. I'm sorry I'm ranting right now, but I gotta do this video like this. I'm gonna make a better, more cohesive video on this topic, maybe 2, but I just gotta get this off my chest. Look at this woman. This is your leader. This is your queen. This is who you allow to lead you back into Jim Crow, if not worse. This is the Judas goat you followed to your slaughter. You killed us all. And I'm ending this video here. Like, share, subscribe, drop me a comment saying what you think. And on that note, family, peace.